Hello and welcome back to the Houston Ice Hockey Live broadcast here from the Big Lake Rec Center in beautiful downtown Big Lake, Alaska. My name's Isaac Smolden. I'm joined here by Todd Smolden as we get ready to broadcast the first of two broadcasts today, Houston JV versus Service JV. How's it going, Todd?
It's going well. We managed to crawl out of Anchorage. Bad road conditions today, and Service is a little late too, so we're here.
So earlier today I interviewed Connor Boytz. He is playing today for the JV team. Let's see what he had to say earlier about this game. Here with Connor Boytz. He's playing in the JV game today for the Hawks. It's his first year playing for Houston High School. How's it going today, Boytz?
Well, it's going good. Just trying to get ready for the game today.
So what are you looking forward to out there on the ice today?
Trying to make good, crisp, clean passes and making sure that the team is what we're supposed to do.
What do you think Houston needs to do to be successful today against the Service JV team?
Make sure that we're doing everything the smart way, not like rushing everything to get slow, and make good passes and shoot into the net and not the goalie.
All right, well, thank you, Boytz. Good luck today.
All right, thank you.
So no 3 key points for the game today. That'll come later in our varsity broadcast. What we do have to talk about is the rosters for both these teams. Both teams running pretty short benches. Of course, Service's JV guys out there. There's about 9 or 10 of them. Houston not running their first or second line. They've got Josh Smolden in net, so a lot of young guys, a lot of underclassmen. But good experience for these guys, especially going into next year when Houston loses 8 seniors.
Yeah, this is good for the young kids to get an opportunity to play hockey, get lots of ice time. I'm looking at the Service skaters, and when JVs played earlier in the year, we had some of our younger guys who played varsity. It looks like they probably were playing some of their younger guys who also play varsity because they had a much bigger bench the last time we played them. So this might be a fairly competitive game. Last game was, I think, a 4-1. Service won a couple months back early in the season. So we'll see how it goes, but it's a great opportunity for all the kids to get some ice time.
We're going to throw it down to Wags with your starting lineups and the national anthem as this game draws to this warm-ups draw to a close. And just looking forward to a fun game here. We're going to cut the audio down to Wags. So it's a JV game, and so they're not doing starters. And I guess my little experiment failed to see if that was going to work for the varsity game format.
You'll know it will work for the varsity because they will do starters for varsity. So
first line for the Hawks, Noah Plum centering Rhea Stiers and Joe Mack. For the Cougars, centering the line is Garrity. He's got Sarber on the wing. And on the far side is Oliver Lick. Opening faceoff is down, and Service ends up with it. Plum is knocked off the puck. It goes back to the Service defense. They pass it up the ice now. Sarber up to Garrity. Garrity carries it down into the Houston zone. Wheels around. Passes to the far point. Fires a shot. Smolden with the save, and it jumps up over him into the net.
I don't know where that hit him, but it hit him maybe in the blocker or something like that, but it just popped kind of right up in the air and right over his shoulder. So
yeah, unfortunate deflection.
Shake it off and get back in the game here.
Yeah, unfortunate deflection for the Hawks, but you know, You got to move on from it, and we'll have another face-off with the same lines. Face-off won by Service in the neutral zone now, carried up by Sarber in the Houston end, and knocked away from the net by Joe Mack. Service behind the net now. Carries around to the near side. Houston.
Skylar Garrity.
Have it. They pass out. Sarber's there. Gets deflected away from him, and now he's knocked off the puck by Noah Plum. Goes back to Sarber in the neutral zone now. He carries it across the Houston blue line to the far side. Garrity's there to pick it up. Plum trying to take it away. He does have it now, and he throws it to the middle of the ice. Austin Jones racing for it. He's got Sarber to beat down in his own zone. That's Jaden Sarber with the puck on defense, and now he wheels to the near side. Chips it up the boards. Caitlin Norton stops it in the neutral zone. Tries to dump it in. It's off a skate. Now carried to the middle by Garrity. He's knocked off the puck. Centering attempt. Gets poked away from Glick by Kinley Scott. Now Cody Dreyer wheels around to the near side. It's in his skates and poked away. Garrity gets it stolen by Austin Jones. She kicks it back to her cousin Porter Jones, and the Hawks will look to break it out. Porter Jones up the ice. Cooley intercepts in the neutral zone. Dumps it back the other way into the Houston end. Behind the net to the far side. Picked up there by Caitlin Norton. Norton passes up to Kinley Scott. Goes into the neutral zone now. Boyce on the forecheck takes it away, and here he comes into the zone, but it just gets poked away by the defense. Now Boyce is hit into the boards by Cooley. We are going to have a penalty. Looks like against Service. And it's touched up, and we're going to have a trip on number 8, Nick Cooley.
Yeah, the Service player lost control of his body and just kind of fell right into Boyce's. They were going into the boards. Looked pretty dangerous. I'm glad they both got up with not too much worse for wear there.
Boyce draws the penalty. The Hawks go on the power play for the first time tonight. It's Cody Dreyer taking the face-off. He's got Houlihan, Logan Shivers, and Connor Boyce out there with him. Boyce fires one, and a shot is frozen by the goaltender, Scott Willingham.
2 minutes for tripping.
Looks like the Hawks are going to get...
They're going to go on a 5-on-3. Boyce draws another penalty, and that one's against Jaden Sarber.
Yeah, not a very smart play there. Just kind of cleared someone out after the whistle in front of the net. Really wasn't any reason for it.
So Cody Dreyer will take the face-off, same line. Dreyer centering Boyce and Shivers. They got Hutchinson and Norton on defense. Dreyer wins the face-off. It's in his skates. Boyce tries to poke it away. Now the Service defense tries to tie it up. Boyce pokes it into the corner. Sarber's going to pick up there and dump it down the ice. In the corner, Smolden stops it for Caitlin Norton. Norton around to the near side, passes up to Logan Shivers. Shivers falls down on the play. Garrity takes it into the zone. He's knocked off the puck by Caitlin Norton. Norton to Shivers. Shivers in his own zone now. Passes up to Boyce. It goes past his stick. And Sarber's going to pick it up on defense. Passes up the ice to Garrity. Garrity on his own blue. Clears the zone to Geyer. Here comes Geyer down the ice. Into the Hawks defensive zone. Wheels around Porter Jones. Fires, and it's over the net. Stoppage in play here. 1:14 left in the first penalty. 1:17 left in Service's second. 12:25 left in the first period. Noah Plum, Joe Mack, Rhea Stiers out there on forwards for the Hawks now. Norton and Hutchinson on defense. Noah Plum ties up his man. Now he has it in his skates. He kicks it up. Joe Mack on the forecheck. It gets flipped pass back to Hutchinson. It's in Hutchinson's skates now. He moves up the ice, carries it across the red, and dumps it in. Here come the Hawks on the forecheck. To the near side. Noah Plum picks it up on the hash mark. Down into the corner with it. Poked away by Service. To Geyer. He picks it up. He's got some time. Pass out to Garrity. Garrity steps across the red line into the Houston end. Stops and circles around now, buying himself some time. Over to Bridges. Bridges flips it in backhand. Caitlin Norton's there to try to dig it out. Geyer has it right to Garrity in front, and they shoot and they score. Looks like it might have gone five-hole there on Smolden.
I have no idea where that went. I don't know what happened. Maybe short side, hard to say.
Noah Plum will take the face-off against number 38, Skylar Garrity.
Oh.
Got Oliver Glick on the wing here. Service is still down 2 men. 30 seconds left in the Houston power play. Joe Mack on the forecheck, pokes it away. Picked up there by Oliver Glick of Service, and he's knocked into the boards by Noah Plum. Joe Mack tries to center to the neutral zone. Garrity has it, pokes it back. Bridges picks it up on his own blue. Bridges wheels behind the net, carries it to the near side. Up the ice now, past Stiers. into the neutral zone. Across the red line now. Across the Houston blue, down into the corner. He fires and it's wide. Here comes Joe Mack. He's left with a breakaway. There's no service player around him. He carries it down into the zone. He fires a shot and it's over the net.
Service full strength.
Now Austin Jones is over there fighting for it. And service is full strength as both their guys that come out of the box. It's in the feet. Jones fires one on net. That's easily poked aside. Sarber in the corner, passes up, stopped on the wing by Kinley Scott. Scott pokes it down to the zone, and it's flipped out of the service zone by the defense, all the way down the ice. Takes it across the goal line. We'll have a stoppage in play for icing. 10:44 left in the first. Service JV up by 2. And we'll have an offensive zone faceoff for the Hawks. Cody Dreyer taking the face-off. Scott Norton on the D. Austin Jones and Kinley Scott are his 2 wings. Porter Jones also out there for the Hawks. It's one back to Sarber. Sarber chips it up. Porter Jones keeps it in to Kinley Scott. Scott fires one, deflected away by the goaltender. Service tries to carry it out and goes back to Scott Willingham. He's forced to freeze it there. Same line out there. Norton changes for Hutchinson, and now Cody Dreyer will take another face-off. This time it looks like it's going to be against Sarber. One back by Service. Hooked away by Kinley Scott. Sarber in the corner with it. Passes back. Picked up now on the wing. Pass to the neutral zone. Here comes Geyer down the ice. Gets past Porter Jones. He gets around Hutchinson. Carries it to the goal line. Centering attempt. Broken up by the defense. And then kicked away by Cody Dreyer. Knocked back in by Service. Behind the Houston net, Nate Hutchinson is there. He gets knocked into the boards a little bit. Now Service is fighting for it in the corner. Gets poked back behind the net. Hutchinson's there. He passes over to Kinley Scott on the far side. Kinley Scott on the hash mark. Dishes to the neutral zone. Flip back in. Now Porter Jones will dig it out. Jones up the boards. Goes past Kinley Scott and dumped into the netting by Sarber. It went off the foot of Kinley Scott. Should have a neutral zone face-off.
Well, definitely not the way the Hawks wanted to start this game out. I know that they were looking to put some pressure on, and they had an opportunity there with that 5-on-3, but just couldn't get anything together. And Service had up scoring. They scored on it, so not a great start here for the Hawks.
Connor Boyce pokes it back to the neutral zone. Sarber's there to pick it up. He passes across to Cooley. Cooley on the red line now. Down into the Houston zone. Dumps it past Norton. Picks it back up in the corner. He's knocked down by Nate Hutchinson. Hutchinson pokes it around, intercepted by Sarber. Sarber has some time off the back of the net. Picked back up by Norton. Norton gets it taken away now. Plum in there fighting for it. He knocks a man down. Back to Norton. Norton flips it around, stopped on the boards by Gavin McHenry. Up to the point, Sarber. He fires one, and it's a weird deflection that Smolden barely gets a glove on. That one kind of was a knuckleball. It hit one of the defense and slowed down to about half speed. Smolden's able to glove it.
Yeah, and for a goalie who's already a little shaky in his confidence here with 2 goals already given up, those are not the kinds you want to see. You'd like to get one right in your gut.
Noah Plum taking the face off for Houston. Puck is dropped. He pokes it up. Service on the point. Fire a shot, and Smolden takes one right in the chest, and there you go. There's your save.
Speaking of one right in the gut, so now he's got a couple under his belt here. Hopefully he'll get a little bit more confident and help his team to get back in it.
Noah Plum taking the face-off against Garrity. Garrity pokes it back to the defense, right in front, and it goes wide of the net. Caitlin Norton tries to poke it away. Now Noah Plum comes in to assist. Oliver Glick fighting for it with Guire. Guire ends up with it. Carries it around to the far side. Porter Jones will pick it up for Houston. He gets it to Boyce, and Boyce is hitting to the boards. Looks like they're going to have another penalty on Service, however, as Bridges will touch it up in his own zone.
Again, not a smart play by Service. You got a player with your back to you, right up along the boards. It wasn't a very hard hit, but just not very smart. You got a 2-goal lead. No reason for that. And the ref felt the same way, apparently.
Service with another penalty here. Cody Dreyer will take the face-off in the offensive zone for the Hawks. He's got Riastires Joe Mack with him, and Porter Jones is on his backhand here. Dreyer gets over to Hutchinson. He fires one, deflected away. Riastires can't quite get a stick on it. Passed around behind the net now. Joe Mack moving in. Service, can't carry it out. Joe Mack ends up with it in the corner. Centering attempt, but there's no one there. Porter Jones can't quite keep it in. Houston will have to clear. Now they go back in on the forecheck. It's passed around them to the neutral zone. It's Garrity with the puck. He's only got Hutchinson to beat. He splits him. And now he comes in on Smolden, but it's knocked away with a good back check by Porter Jones, and Smolden might have gotten a stick on it. Service still in the Houston end, however. Bridges gets it poked away by Stiers. Ends up sending it back to Porter Jones. Porter Jones in his own zone. Passes across to Joe Mack. Good heads-up play. Now Mack steps through Garrity to the middle. Gets caught up in his own teammate. Service goes the other way. Across the red line now. Guire with the puck to the middle. Gets it knocked away from him by Dreyer. Dreyer on the goal line. Can't quite get a hold on it. Austin Jones picks it up, however, and now Houston comes out of their own end. Joe Mack with it on the far side in the neutral zone. Centers to Austin Jones. Jones pokes it in. Majority of the Houston forwards get a change here. Just 52 seconds left in the Houston power play. Kinley Scott, Noah Plum, Austin Jones out there on forward as Service dumps it back to the D. To Plum, who sends it to Kinley Scott. Kinley Scott steps around the D and dumps it in. Goes back behind the net. Noah Plum is there. It's in his skates. Fighting forward is Bridges. Centering attempt picked off by Service. Coming up out of the zone now to the neutral zone. Cooley with the puck. Austin Jones tries to poke it away. It goes over to Garrity. Garrity into the Houston end. Down into the corner. He gets it knocked away by Nate Hutchinson. A good play. Service picks it back up. Sarber steps to the middle. Knocked away by Kinley Scott. Now Caitlin Norton going against Sarber. Sarber gets it out to the point. It's Bridges with it. He dumps it down into the far side. Nate Hutchinson's fighting Garrity for it. It's in both of their skates. Garrity comes away with it. On the near side, knocked into the boards by Noah Plum, and then Noah Plum levels Sarber. Stood him up for the check. Here comes Caitlin Norton across the red. She dumps it in on net. Willingham to the side. Kinley Scott's there. She picks it out of the corner. Up to the point. Cody Dreyer keeps it just in, and he's knocked to the ground. Bridges moving up the ice for Service. Here comes Connor Boyts. Boyts pokes it away, knocks Bridges into the boards, and it's sent around to the far side. Houston in a bit of a pickle here. No one was going for the puck. It's picked back up by Service. Cooley ends up with it in the neutral zone. Boyts tries to poke it away. He overskates it. McHenry into the Houston end. Fires one, and it's wide. Logan Shivers will pick it up on the near side. Tries to poke it away from Guire. Doesn't quite make it. Guire coming back the other way. Through the legs. Caitlin Norton just pokes it away from the net. Cooley fires one. Deflected out of the air. In the corner now. Pass just misses the back door. Sarber pokes it back in for Service. Guire in the corner. Porter Jones misses the check. Now Cody Dreyer has to try to dig it out. Centering attempt poked away by the defense. Back in front. And now Connor Boyts will knock it away. To Sarber on the point, who sends it back in for Service. Guire gets it poked away by Cody Dreyer. Now he recollects, sends it to Glick in the middle. Glick gets it poked away by Porter Jones, and Jones will fail to clear it to the neutral zone as Glick barely keeps it in. Back to the corner. Hawks getting worked here defensively. Porter Jones to Logan Shivers. Shivers off the boards and down the ice, and that's exactly what Houston needed. Icing on the play, but you got to take it there. Houston gets caught in their D zone.
Yeah, they were
by a
really
solid 2
bottled
minutes.
up there. I wanted to give a shout out to Connor Boyts. He really hustled back there very early in that series and did a great job of back checking. Kept the puck out of the zone. Of course, then it went into the zone and never came back out for quite a while. But
Noah Plum takes the face off. It's poked through by Service. Up to Rhea Stiers now. She gets it poked through her skates. Cooley on the point to Garrity. Garrity down to the Houston end. He's got some room. He fires. Smolden with the first save. Now just poked away by the defense. A good play by Nate Hutchinson stops the shot. On the point is Guire. He fires one. Smolden stops it. Barely as it got deflected in front. In the corner now, Garrity with the puck pokes it through. To the near side. Service wheels around. Pokes it up to Cooley. Cooley on the point. Centers it in the skates. Knocked away by Nate Hutchinson. Smolden makes his leg pad save. Now another one. And it eventually gets cleared away by the defense and frozen by Smolden. 2 or 3 saves there with the legs. Smolden sprawled out all over the net. Service isn't able to poke it through.
yeah, I'm not sure he knew exactly where that puck was, but he did a great job of sprawling out and covering the bottom part of the net.
Noah Plum will take the face off. It's won by Service, but it leaves the zone. Sarber in the neutral zone. Joe Mack moving in. Now it goes to Garrity. They come in 3-on-2. Service with a shot on Smolden, and Smolden makes the save. Smolden less than too early, but he's looked a little bit more solid here later in the first period. I think that's just coming with getting warmed up. Maybe his head's not all the way in the game, but he seems a little more locked in now. Service wins it back. Cooley on the point. Fires one. Down to Guire. He fires over the net. Joe Mack is going to try to pick it up on the hash mark. He's knocked into the boards. And now he's going in with a 2-on-1 with Sires. Joe Mack takes it across the blue line, but Sarber knocks the puck away. Mack picks it back up. Glick now for service will take it from him, and he passes to Garrity. Garrity into the Houston defensive zone. He splits Nate Hutchinson, backdoor, and they fire it right into Smolden's leg pad. He has the entire net to shoot at. Smolden barely catches it. Right in front is Glick, who fires another shot saved by Smolden. Up to Sarber on the point. He fires one down into the zone. Garrity's there, but it's poked away by Hutchinson. Cody Dreyer now carries it out of the Houston end. It's in his skates at the red line. He carries it across the blue, steps to the middle, fires one, and he just misses. Austin Jones to try to dig it out from behind the net. Service ends up with it. Now Austin Jones has it right in front. She fires one, and the leg pad save is made by Willingham. Glick tries to clear, doesn't quite make it. Caitlin Norton pins Garrity to the boards, and then it's recollected by Glick. He carries it through the defense, right in front, 1-on-0, fires, and Smolden with an incredible leg save. Glick is 1-on-0, Smolden denies him. Now a shot is deflected, and Smolden saves it again. Sarber will pick it up, hooked away by Porter Jones. Austin Jones now tries to clear. It's at the top of the circle, to the middle, and McHenry can't get a stick on it. Caitlin Norton in the far side corner of the Houston end. Gets it taken away to McHenry. McHenry centers, poked away by Porter Jones. Now here comes Connor Boytz. A shot is wide. Smolden did not see that one. Caitlin Norton ends up with the puck on the hash mark. Tries to poke it out. Fighting for it with Kinley Scott. Now back into the Houston end is Service. Porter Jones pokes it away. It leaves the Houston end. Bridges picks it up in the neutral zone, flips it back in. Service back on the forecheck. Porter Jones on the hash mark, flips it to the neutral zone. Bridges is there, and it'll be dumped back in. Service back on side. They come back in. Porter Jones on the far side. Passes to Logan Shivers. Shivers in the neutral zone. 3-on-2 here for the Hawks. Passed over, and here comes Connor Boytz. He's got it on the near side. He's got Plum right in front. A shot, and it goes behind the net. Bridges passes around to the near side. It's going to just leave the Houston end and now go down the ice as Hutchinson wasn't able to get a handle on it. Nate Hutchinson digs it out of the near side corner. Holds it there. Now passes out. Sarber stops it on the point. Carries it down in for service. Back down to Garrity. To Sarber again. Through his legs as Plum went in there and poked it away. A centering attempt is broken up by Logan Shivers. Joe Mack pokes it out, but Bridges is going to beat him to the puck. Bridges wheels around, passes up to Sarber. Back to Sarber off a one-touch pass from the D. Leaves it back for his D-man on the blue line. Passed up, right to Guire. He comes into the Houston end, steps to the middle, on his backhand now. Centering attempt is lost, and here comes Joe Mack. Mack across the red, across the blue. He steps past Bridges and can't get a handle on it. Down into the near side corner, taken away there by Nick Cooley. Cooley out of the Houston end. Centering attempt goes past Hutchinson to Guire. Guire carries it in. Steps around Caitlin Norton, but she pokes it to the corner. Now it's back up to Cooley. Cooley fires and Smolden catches it with the glove. It'll be a stoppage in play.
Yeah, well, great job there by Smolden. Quite a few shots in that last series. Great leg pad save. He got a little bit of help from Glick, who shot it, had the net wide open and shot it right into his leg pad. That toe save he made was fantastic.
Houston with the face-off win. They carry it to the neutral zone. Taken away by Glick. Glick back into the Houston defensive zone. He wheels around. He's got lots of time here up at the point. Pokes it to Bridges. Bridges down into the Houston zone. Circles back to the point. Pass to the middle. No one on McHenry. Now he fires one, and it's in the skates of Nate Hutchinson. Hutchinson blocks that shot. Never reaches the net. Poked down to the service end. Kinley Scott forechecking. Cooley will pick it up for service. And now Houston kind of gets caught in the neutral zone. Cooley coming back the other way. Tries to pass up to Glick. It goes past him and into the Houston end. Nate Hutchinson on the far side. Passes up to Kinley Scott. Scott to Dreyer. Here comes Dreyer into the neutral zone. Kept in by Bridges. Bridges steps past Kinley Scott. Fires one into the legs of Hutchinson. Now picked up by Bridges. Centered. Picked up there by Guire. A shot is knocked away by Smolden. And time's going to expire for the first period. After 1, Service 2, Houston 0. And We don't have time for an intermission because both teams are just taking a break here, so guess I'll ask you, what do you think of that first period?
Well, you know, definitely service carried play. It would be interesting to see what the shots were. But it seemed like Smolden was a little bit nervous there at the beginning. A couple of goals got scored, but he's certainly settled down. He's keeping his team in it. I'd like to see a little bit more opportunity in front of the service net. We got way too much pressure in the Hawk zone. Not enough pressure in the service zone. The Hawks have had some opportunities. They probably, I'm guessing the shots are probably 2-1, something like that. But definitely, you know, it seems like the Hawks settled down a bit, and I'm looking for them to be a little bit more comfortable as the game goes on here.
Yeah, Houston has a couple shots. Physical shots are 18 for service, 7 for Houston. Willingham is solid in net for service. For Houston, Smolden's made 16 saves and 18 shots. Service scores are number 12, Luke Bridges from Michael Garrity, Skylar Garrity. And then the second goal is scored by Mitchell Guire with another assist from Garrity. Well, team's done at the benches.
It's kind of interesting for me because I'm looking at some of these service players and they're kids that Josh played with when Josh Smolden played with when he lived in Anchorage. So
face-off is controlled by service now as Glick comes into the Houston end. Rhea Stiers will take it away, pokes it to the neutral zone, tries to get it past the defense to Noah Plum, who's now coming in to assist. Service pokes it out of there. It's in the skates of Mack. Garrity ends up with it on the near side, top of the circle. Down to the Houston end, poked away by Caitlin Norton. Now fighting for it in the corner. Service keeps it in, Glick on the hash marks. Plum pokes it away, and goes out to the neutral zone. It's going to be Cooley with it, who passes across the bridges. Down the ice, into the Houston end. Nate Hutchinson sends it to the neutral zone, carried back in by Cooley. Cooley steps around Hutchinson, but Hutchinson knocks him off the puck. Noah Plum will pick it up in the corner. Now to Joe Mack. Mack clears the zone. Cooley's going to pick it back up now, past the Bridges. Bridges to Guire. Guire into the Houston end, in the middle. No challenge, fires a shot, and Smolden with the save. Those are always dangerous. Houston's defense kind of backs up and allows Guire to get that shot off from the slot. Fortunately for the Hawks, he shoots it right into Smolden's breadbasket.
Yeah, you really want to see your defense step up and try to knock that player off the puck. Last thing you want is for one skater to be 1-on-0 with your goalie.
Cody Dreyer wins it back. It's going to be Nate Hutchinson who picks it up behind the net. Hutchinson up the ice. In the skates now, Logan Shivers. Knocks Glick into the boards, then it's picked back up by Sarber. Centering attempt gets poked away. McHenry's going to stop it for service on the point. Pass down into the zone, deflected right in front, and Smolden with a glove save. He slides all the way across the net and snags that out of the air.
Yeah, 2 saves. First he got it with his leg pad, and then he was there with his glove for the rebound.
Face off to the right of Smolden here on our far side. Cody Dreyer will take it against Sarber. To the side, won by Houston. Boyce tries to clear right to Bridges on the point, who fires one that's deflected away. Service behind the Houston net. Nate Hutchinson goes in, poked away. Hutchinson on the hash marks, far side. Centering attempt goes to Dreyer. Dreyer up to Logan Shivers. It's in his skates, back to Dreyer. Dreyer gets caught up with Shivers, and Service controls the puck. McHenry to the middle, carries it across the Houston blue, to the slot, fires one, and Smolden snatches it out of the air with the glove. 13-13 left here in the second period. Service up by a score of 2-0.
Well, you know, the great thing about these JV games is it really does give the younger kids a chance to play, and that's the same with the goalie. You got a younger goalie, he's a sophomore. He's getting an opportunity to make some saves.
Noah Plum taking the face-off for the Hawks. It's won by Service. Back to Cooley. He fires one. Smolden with a save. He'll freeze things. 5 seconds trickle off the clock, and Houston will have another face-off in the D zone. Noah Plum wins the face-off. It goes up to Cooley. Back down to Guire. Guire centers it to Sarber. Goes through Kinley Scott's legs. Service on the far side. Pokes one up. It goes over the net. Garrity picks it up on the far side now. Passes up to the point. Austin Jones is there. She deflects it, but it still goes down deep into the Houston end. Now in the slot. Service. Fires one that's wide. Guire picks it up on the far side at the hash marks. Poked back in. Noah Plum behind the net. Has it in his skates. Passes out. Stopped on the point by Cooley. Austin Jones there. Cooley fires one. Deflected right in front. That one never hit the net. Sid Kinley Scott skates. He passes out to the middle. Misses Austin Jones. And Cooley picks it up on his own blue. Flips it into the neutral zone. Noah Plum stops it. Sends it back the other way for Houston. Cooley recollects. Now passed out to Garrity. Garrity up to Sarber. Sarber poked away by Porter Jones. Picked back up by the D. Austin Jones now tries to poke it up to Cody Dreyer. Doesn't quite make it. Dreyer picks it up on the blue. Sends it in. Back behind the service net. Joe Mack now going against Cooley. Poked away from Cooley by Mack. Now it gets sent to the slot and flipped into the air. Goes past Porter Jones and Guire coming in with some speed, burns Hutchinson and fires a shot, and Smolden with a nice save.
Well, it took 3 minutes for the puck to get deep into the service zone this period, so
11:46.
Definitely tilted.
11:46 left in the second. Service still up by a score of 2-0. Cody Dreyer with the face-off here. He's going up against Guire. Poke to the side. Centered right to Glick. He fires one, and Smolden's just gonna miss it, it looks like. It sneaks past his arm. He was screened by the defense, and I don't think he saw that shot at all.
Yeah, no, I don't think he saw it. Fairly good positioning. It was a good shot to the right of him.
We'll have another center ice face-off here as Service tallies their first of the second period. Cody Dreyer will be taking the face-off here against Guire. Dreyer pokes it through. Joe Mack on the wing. Tries to dump it in, isn't able to get a handle on it, and then they're offside.
Yes,
Mack entered into the zone before the puck.
The second period scored by number 4, Oliver Glick, assisted by number 46, James Sarber.
Cody Dreyer will take the face-off here. Again, in the neutral zone. Back to Mack. Mack pokes it back to the defense. It's Sarber with the puck. Passes up to Glick. Glick in the neutral zone. Over to McHenry. Cody Dreyer takes it away. Dreyer's knocked to the ground, and McHenry picks it back up for service. Poked past Mack down into the Houston end. Caitlin Norton knocks him off the puck with a good defensive play, and now here comes Joe Mack. Service still has it, and right in front, and Smolden will eventually freeze it there. Caitlin Norton with a great check there on McHenry. She's probably twice her size. She still knocks them both to the ground, knocks McHenry off the puck.
Yeah, I really like the intensity there from Norton. Definitely doing a great job as a defenseman, stepping up into that forward.
Noah Plum, face-off one back by Service to Bridges. Sends it off one of his teammates' legs, and Caitlin Norton picks it up. Oliver Glick sends it back into the zone. Around Logan Shivers, a shot, and it's deflected up by Smolden. Nate Hutchinson now tries to hit Boyce. It goes past the stick to the Service defense. Oliver Glick just keeps it in the zone. Up to Cooley, a shot on Smolden and a save, and now Caitlin Norton puts it into Smolden's pads for the freeze. And Smolden, I think, is talking to Norton right now and shaking his head. A bit of a weird play there, as I don't think Smolden was expecting Norton to poke it back to him. And so they're both just kind of looking at the puck and then at each other, and Service is crashing the net.
Yep.
Service wins the face-up up to Bridges. A shot and a save by Smolden. Another shot, and it goes in off the rebound. Smolden with a first shot, a nice laser from Bridges. And then Service in the slot is able to put in the rebound past Smolden. Service up by 4 now in this JV game here from Big Lake. 10:39 left in the second period.
The Service goal, 10:39 remaining in the second period, scored by
Noah
number
Plum
38,
wins it.
Skylar Garrity, assisted
Caitlin
by
Norton
number
steps
12, Luke Bridges.
Tries to poke it past Sarber, doesn't quite make it. Now sent back to Bridges. Bridges of serve it, flips it, up the ice to Glick. Glick across the blue line, doesn't quite make it in. It would have been offsides, but Noah Plum intercepted. Sent back down into the Houston zone. Porter Jones in the corner. Tries to pass around, ends up carrying it to the near side, up to Logan Shivers. Shivers geeks past Sarber, sends it to the middle. Noah Plum pokes it away. He's on a foot race. Cooley's going to beat him to it. He wheels around. Passes up to Sarber. Sarber across the red line. Up to Garrity, but it goes past his stick. And now into the Houston zone. Caitlin Norton rings it up to the near side. Goes back to Bridges. Now Logan Shivers trying to get it past. Doesn't quite make it. Connor Boyce puts it away, but it goes back to service. In the neutral zone, Sarber wheels around to buy himself some time. Passed across to Bridges. Bridges loses it, and here comes Cody Dreyer. Dreyer fighting for it, but Bridges gets a strong stick on it. Doesn't allow him to get a shot off. Now here comes Bridges up the ice. Loses the puck. Porter Jones stops it in his own zone. Passes out. There's no one there but Green, and Sarber picks it back up for service. Right to the skate of the referee. Eventually gets up to Glick. Glick to Garrity. They come in on a 2-on-1. Right to Garrity in the slot, and Porter Jones with a nice defensive play pokes it away. Now it's sent down the ice, and it's just going to miss Austin Jones, and it's going to be icing.
Oh, that was a close play. She was coming in off the bench on the line change, and it's too bad. I think if her teammate would have looked up, probably would have seen her, but it's more of a desperation of getting the puck out of the zone, because it's been in the Houston zone a lot this period.
Noah Plum with the face-off here against Oliver Glick. 9:04 left in the second period. Plum loses it back to Sarber on the point, and it deflects off Hutchinson's skate just wide. Cooley tries to keep it in. Austin Jones fighting for it at the point. It goes past her to Porter Jones. Porter sends it to the point. Kept in by service. Now wheeled to the slot. Squire with it. Steps to the middle, and he fires on Smolden, and Smolden denies him with a glove. Another shot from the slot of service. Smolden.
Again, another shot right from the slot. I mean, the good news is there weren't any defensemen blocking his view, so he was able to get that with the glove. But you really want to see someone step up and put a body on that player there.
Kinley Scott pokes it out of the Houston end. Picked up by Cooley in the neutral zone. He wheels around on the red line. Austin Jones knocks him into the boards. Here comes Noah Plum to assist. Back to Jones. Cooley tries to dig it out of there. A lot of skaters over there right now for both teams, and eventually poked through by service. Over to McHenry. McHenry fires one. Smolden knocks it out of the air. Rebound goes just wide. McHenry centers to Glick. Glick fires. It deflects off of Porter Jones' skate. Austin Jones. He gets skated around. McHenry on the back door. Smolden sprawling all over the net. Service can't hit the net. Passed up to Sarber. Sarber on the point fires, and Kinley Scott just got a stick on it. Now Guire carries it to the middle, but Scott's there. Pokes it off his stick. Now she gets it past Sarber, starts to skate up the ice. Knocked off her stick by Guire. Cooley recollects in the service end. Now Cooley with some speed across the red line. Steps around Noah Plum into the Houston zone. Now Porter Jones trying to poke it away. Goes into the corner. Noah Plum's there. Plum moving up the ice now. Steps around the D. He skates to the middle. He's got a 1-on-0 here with the goalie. Here comes Noah Plum down into the service end. Steps to the right side. He shoots, and a save by Willingham. He does not know where that puck is. Plum with a burst of speed. Kind of beats out all three service skaters and almost stuffs it on Willingham.
Great effort by Plum there. Kind of got stuck in the goaltender's leg pad as he was sliding across it. A little bit of a opening there in the 5-hole, but Plum couldn't stuff it in.
Cody Dreyer taking the face-off for the Hawks now. He's joined by Joe Mack and Rhea Stires. One back by service. They take it out of their zone. It's Cooley who passes across to Sarber. Joe Mack trying to get a stick on it now. Knocked into the boards by Sarber. Poked into the Houston end. Garrity will pick it up there on the near side. Tries to carry it to the middle. Poked away by Dreyer. Dreyer gets hit to the ice by Sarber. Service ends up with it right in front. A shot and a save by Smolden. Service still has it. Another shot. This one deflected away, and Joe Mack will pick it up on the near side. Mack past Glick, stopped on the point by Bridges. Into the corner to Sarber. Centering attempt gets deflected over the net. Good defensive play by Caitlin Norton. Now Rhea Stires picks it up on the near side. Chips it out. Joe Mack in a foot race with Bridges. Bridges is just going to beat him to the puck. Behind the service net to the near side now. Bridges knocked off the puck by Cody Dreyer. Dreyer taking some time to get to his feet, however. Service with time to pass it across. Sarber with the puck, pass up to Garrity, he misses it, and it's an icing call. 6:24 left in the second period. Houston down by 4 goals here in this opening JV game.
This may be the first or second face-off that has been in the service zone this period. I think it'll be the second face-off in the service zone this period.
Noah Plum centering Logan Shivers and Connor Boyce. And Plum wins it to Boyce. Poked up to Norton. Norton keeps it in, fires a shot. Deflected into the corner. Bridges is there for service. He tries to poke it through. He gets it up to Guire. Guire in the neutral zone. 3-on-2 here for the Cougars. Guire across the Houston blue. Down into the corner. Wheels around. Tries to fire a shot, but Porter Jones knocks him off the puck. Jones still fighting for it, this time on the far side. Boyce pokes it up, stopped on the point by Bridges. Bridges fires one, and Boyce gets in front of it, stops the shot, deflects into the netting.
And one of the things I'd really like to see the Hawks do is that they've been doing a lot of centering up to service's point. And they're pushing the puck up the middle instead of along the boards, and that's something that...
That being said, you don't want to see those turnovers in the high slot. That's resulted in that a couple times, and that's no good.
Yeah.
Noah Plum ties up his man. It goes up to service, and they fling it down into the zone. Porter Jones there. Pokes it up to Connor Boyce. Boyce sends it down the ice. It's deflected by service, so no icing. Noah Plum coming in on the forecheck, as well as Connor Boyce. Wrapped around to the near side. McHenry's there. He pokes it up to Garrity. Connor Boyce on the back check with Caitlin Norton, and Norton reefs Garrity into the boards, knocks him off the puck. Service recollects in the Houston end, up to Bridges. Bridges fires one, deflects away from the net. Caitlin Norton's there on the near side. Moving up the ice, flips it past. In the skates to Cody Dreyer. Dreyer gets it to the middle and then sends it down the ice. Almost a 2-on-1, he isn't able to get a stick on it as he fell to the ice. Bridges behind the service net, passes out to Guire. Guire in the neutral zone, poked away by Kinley Scott. Now Bridges recollects the puck on the blue line. Steps around behind the net. Connor Boyce going in. Passed up the ice to Garrity. Austin Jones knocks it in. McHenry fighting for it there. And we're going to have a too many men penalty on Houston. I think the refs were trying to give them some time to figure it out. But a clear too many men on the ice penalty. 6 guys out there for about 15 seconds or so right in front of the Houston bench.
Yeah, there was an awful lot of movement in and out of the bench there, and there was more movement out of the bench than in the bench.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you got too many men on the ice penalty.
So Norton, Hutchinson, Plum, and Kinley Scott out there to kill the penalty. Service's first power play of the day. They got Sarber, Guire, Glick, Bridges, and Cooley. Plum pokes it back to Caitlin Norton.
Penalty for 50 remaining.
Stops it behind the net.
It's going to be a 2-minute penalty.
Still fighting for it in the corner. Plum picks it up, sends it out of the zone. Here comes Kinley Scott with some speed. Willingham's going to service it in front of the net and poke it to the side. Kinley Scott tried to poke it away from Cooley. Just carried past. Cooley up the ice now, right into the stick of Noah Plum. Plum on the blue line, deflects up and almost into the broadcasting quote-unquote booth. But narrowly misses it.
Yeah, I reached out with my bad shoulder and couldn't quite reach the puck there.
Austin Tao taking the drop of the puck here. He's reffing with Carl tonight. Noah Plum will take the face-off against Glick. Poked through by Oliver Glick, right in front. And Smolden just poke checks it away. Glick with a 1-on-0. Smolden barely gets a stick on it. Service still controls, however. They're on the point. Across to Sarber. Sarber to Glick in the high slot. Fires one to way over the net. Hutchinson will pick it up from behind, try to clear. Cooley stops it on the blue line. Back to Glick. Glick fighting for it in the corner. Still has it, though. He carries it to the middle. He fires one. Smolden stands him up on the post. Poked up to Cooley. Cooley fires and Kinley Scott gets a stick on it. Now Guire carries it down into the zone. Into the slot, up to Cooley. Cooley on the point, fires one. Weird deflection, and Smolden managed to get a glove on it.
Yeah.
49 seconds left in the Houston penalty kill. Couple nice save and defensive plays there. Flurry of chances for
nice
service.
job by Smolden there. Yeah, a couple of pretty big saves. Nice poke check on that 1-on-0 and.
Austin, and we have one too many out there for Houston right now, is about to say the penalty killers, and we've got 5 guys out there. Noah Plum getting off the ice now. Austin Jones will take the face-off. She's out there with Joe Mack, Hutchinson, and Norton out there on D. Service wins it, shot right into Smolden. And he tries to cover it, but it's knocked away from him. Nate Hutchinson now trying to clear it out. To Austin Jones. Jones up to the point. Cooley stops it. A shot is fired. Smolden with the save. And it trickles behind him just into the net. That one barely gets past. Service with a bevy of shots out there from the point. Eventually one trickles past Smolden. 3:22 left in the second period here as we have another center ice face-off. Cody Dreyer at center ice. McIntyre's out there with him. He's taking the face-off against Garrity. Cody Dreyer wins it back, but Oliver Glick steps through, picks it up for service. Glick to the middle. Wide open in front. Now he passes up to the point. Cooley on the point. Back down to Glick. In the corner with it. Porter Jones knocks Glick into the boards, but he still has possession. Back up to Cooley on the point. Cooley across to Sarber. Sarber fires one. Joe Mack stops it. Joe in the corner. Flips it out. Sarber stops it on the point. Sends it back in. To the far side now. McHenry picks it up for service. It's in his skates as Rhea Stiers knocks him into the boards. Tried to clear. Cooley stops it. Now Caitlin Norton has it on the near side. She circles around behind the net for some more time. Steps back to the near side up to Joe Mack. Here comes Mack out of the Houston end. He can't get a stick on it. Sarber has it now and passes up for service. Up to Caitlin Norton. Norton steps to the middle. Pass up to Dreyer. Dreyer gets it taken off his stick. Service goes the other way. Porter Jones steps up and flips it into the penalty box. We'll have another stoppage here with 2:28 left in the second.
Well, I will tell you one player who's staying warm in this game, and that is Josh Smolden in net for Houston. I would guess there's probably been about 40 shots at this point on him. We'll have to check during the...
18 in the first. I wouldn't be surprised if Service has more than that here in the second. Neutral zone face-off. Glick in his skates. Plum pokes it away. Sarber across the blue line into the Houston zone. At the top of the circles now. Down into the zone. Guire's there. Nate Hutchinson knocks it away. Over to Noah Plum. Plum in the corner on the near side. Loses it to Oliver Glick. Glick tries to step through Jones. Jones knocks it with the skate. Now Jones tries to pass out to Kinley Scott. Scott can't quite clear. Poked back in by Bridges. Scott to the middle now. Goes past Guire and back to Sarber. Sarber across the red line for a service. Flips it in. Noah Plum picks it up. And it goes back to the service D. Guire across to Bridges. Bridges on the near side. Holds it there. Now Sky dumps it up to Sarber. Sarber on the top of the circle, to the middle, to Glick. Glick fires in the defense, deflects it up and over the net. Porter Jones still fighting for it. Smolden knocks it back to the corner. Jones pokes it away. Kinley Scott is there. Now she passes past Bridges and down the ice. Not going to make it for the icing call. Austin Jones and Noah Plum on the forecheck. Sarber carries it around to the far side, pokes it up. Service, still in their own zone. They wheel back behind the net. Now carried to the middle. Austin Jones knocks the puck off a stick. Service still has possession up to Glick. He deflects it down to the Houston end, no icing. Porter Jones is there. Now he carries it to the near side, up to Logan Shivers. Shivers gets it caught in his skates. Sarber goes the other way. Porter Jones knocks him into the boards, back to Shivers. Shivers passes back behind the net, steps to the near side, poked away by Smolden. In the skates now, Cody Dreyer. Fighting for it, goes to Garrity. Garrity around, then comes back up the zone for some more time. Bridges fires a shot, and Dreyer manages to block it. It's going to be Hutchinson behind his own net, who passes out to Boyce. Boyce centers it right to service. Shot deflected. Garrity fires one. It's going to go to Smolden, who tries to clear, doesn't quite make it. It's in the skates to Sarber and Dreyer. Now poked to the middle. Here comes Connor Boyce, but Sarber knocks it back in before he can get to it. Nate Hutchinson at the blue. 14 seconds left in the period. And he dumps it in just ahead of the red. That's going to be an icing.
Well,
they got to get across that red line.
I'd really like to see you take a couple more strides there, especially at the end of the period. You got 8 seconds left here, and now you have a face-off in your defensive zone. And just a couple more strides, get over that red, dump the puck.
Noah Plum will take the face-off. He's out there with Mack and Stiers. Garrity is taking it for service, and Plum will win it to Caitlin Norton. Norton tries to poke it out, stopped on the point by Cooley. A shot and a deflection that Smolden gets a stick on. 1 second left now as service carries it to the far side, and play's going to end here for the second after 2. Service extends the lead to 5-0. You know, it is encouraging, even though Houston is down right now by a bit of a sizable margin, to see these young guys being able to compete. There's a lot of promise, especially with some of these forward lines, guys working hard, doing their job, and managing to kind of hang in there with these service lines. But once it gets down into the Houston zone, the problem is clearing it. I mean, they just can't get it out.
Yeah, what they need to be doing is they need to be pushing that puck over along the boards, trying to chip it out, and instead what they're doing is they're kind of centering it or moving it back up to the point for service, and that's really causing more shots, more havoc for their goaltenders.
Service gets a total of 26 shots on Smolden that period. Smolden makes 23 of those saves. He's not having a bad night right now. His save percentage probably high 80s, low 90s. Not able to do off the top of my head. Houston puts another 6 shots on Willingham. Well, he's good for all 6 of those saves. And just 1 penalty in that period. It's Houston with too many men. Goals for service. Glick gets 1. He has an assist from Sarber. Then Garrity gets his first of the night. He has an assist from Bridges. And finally, the last goal scored by Nick Cooley, unassisted on that power play.
Yeah, you know, I know Smolden's not going to be very happy with giving up 5 goals at this point. However, you do have to look at what's happening in front of you. Almost 50 shots at this point. A lot of it right in front of him. He's made some fantastic saves. There's been some great deflections by his defense. I did see a little bit more intensity that period with his defense. So
Smolden has an 89% save percentage right now, so not playing a bad game. Just getting shelled, you know, and there's been a couple tricklers, a couple rebounds. You know, I think this period the Hawks just go out there, they try their best, and, you know, maybe even have some fun, because that's really what these JV games are all about, is getting out there and getting some of these younger guys experience. Guess we really haven't talked about services play, but what can you say? They've held it in the Houston end pretty much the majority of the game. I mean, they're doing exactly what they need to do.
Well,
and
the one thing you notice about services JV is that they don't have a whole lot of skaters on their team who look like they are beginners, and so that is one difference, is that Houston has some players who are getting some time, who are, you know, first, second-year hockey skaters, and some who haven't actually been on skates very long. So it's going to be a little lopsided, but they're all getting an opportunity to play, and hopefully they'll have positive attitudes and have fun with it.
Face off, poked through by service. It's Oliver Glick into the Houston end. Wheels it down to the hash mark. Fires one. Smolden pokes it away. Guire is there behind the net. He centers it. Smolden's going to freeze it and hold it there.
Well, yeah, I think he's probably tired of having the puck ping-ponging around in his blue ice, and he's decided that...
yeah, that one was taking some serious pinball moves back behind the net.
It's better just to freeze it, get a face-off, and start all over again.
Noah Plum will take another face-off against Glick, and face-off is won by service in the skates of McHenry. Joe Mack tries to poke it through, doesn't quite make it. Hutchinson picks it up behind his own net. Tries to pass back to the far side. Garrity's there to poke it away. Now Joe Mack picks it up for Houston and passes to Plum. Plum tries to step around, and he makes it. Moving down into the service end, deep in the corner. He's going up against Cooley. Plum beats him there, then he just barely overskates it. Cooley will pick it up, carry it to the near side. Up to Guire. Guire across the blue line into the neutral zone. Wheels past both Hutchinson and Norton. Steps in, fires one on Smolden, and he makes the save on the breakaway. Joe Mack now picks it back up for Houston. They have some speed. They could go in 3-on-2. Caitlin Norton across the red's going to dump. And Cody Dreyer goes in on the forecheck. Good. I think that's a good play to dump. Houston tired, needing a change. Service coming out of their own zone now. Cooley with the puck into the neutral zone across the red. Passed out to Glick. Glick into the Houston offensive zone. It's poked away by Kinley Scott. Scott gets tripped up by the blue line. Puck is lost out to Bridges. Bridges up the ice to Guire. Guire carries it past Caitlin Norton. He fires a shot, and Smolden with a nice glove save will freeze it.
Yeah, you know, you said it's a good idea to dump it for a change, but quite frankly, it's a good idea for Houston to dump it pretty much every time. I mean, when you're a team that maybe doesn't have as much skating skill, you really got to dump it. You got to grind it out. You got to see if you can get a puck in front of the net to get an opportunity.
Cody Dreyer loses it and then poked away by Kinley Scott. Bridges passes up, misses Guire. Porter Jones stops it in his own zone. Poked through by Garrity. He's got Sarber right in front, 2-on-1. Fired a shot right on the back door, and they can't put it in. Smolden now knocks it into the air with the stick off a centering pass. Goes into the front of the net. Smolden with a leg pad save, and it's going to be frozen. I think the referee lost sight of it. You make the point of Service having a lot more talent. That's, definitely true. Houston does have one of the most, I'd say the hardest working teams in the state. I got tongue-tied there. I don't know what I'm saying. But, they always come out and they put in a good effort. And even when it's these JV guys, you still see them out there giving it their all. And when you do that, good things happen.
I'm not saying that to be negative at all. I'm just saying that it is obvious. And so you have to play a little different style of hockey. And that's dumping it and grinding it out. And they are doing that. They're working very hard.
And it's a style that Houston is used to both on the varsity and JV level. A lot of kids start out in hockey with Houston and kind of move their way up. And you know that on any given day, doesn't matter who you're playing, you're always going to have to work your butt off day in and day out if you want a chance at having a competitive game, having fun out there, staying with the other teams.
And I'm really impressed with Caitlin Norton and Scott they are really, and Austin Jones, actually all three of those young ladies are just tenacious. They have great intensity.
Service has had the puck in the Houston end while we've been jabbering, and now Houston will clear it. Noah Plum comes down the ice. Perfect timing. He's got a 2-on-1 here with Sarber. Carries it to the near side. Throws one that's wide. Sarber carries it to the far side. Moves up the ice. Got a 3-on-2 here for Service. It's poked past Porter Jones by Guire. Down to the Houston end. Jones on the back check. Trying to poke it away. Smolden makes the save barely with the shoulder. That'll freeze things up here. 12:04 left in the third.
Good positioning there. Another pretty much a 1-on-0, but he didn't give him a whole lot to shoot at.
Noah Plum, Logan Shivers, and Connor Boyt's out there now. And I think the Hawks are 1 forward short of a full 2 lines, or maybe 2 forward short, so they've been kind of cycling these lines around, switching things up. Cooley at the point across to Glick. Glick dumps it in. McHenry's there to pick it up behind the Houston net. Centering attempt knocked away by Norton. Now it's on the near side. Sarber chips it back to Hutchinson. Plum around and rung up to Logan Shivers. It goes past his stick, and Glick will pick it up on the red line. Across to Cooley. Cooley moves it back the other way into the Houston end. Steps to the middle. He's got some room here. Chips it over to Garrity, and Caitlin Norton knocks it into the corner. Garrity picks it up there. It's poked it back away up to the point, and it's going to just leave the zone as Glick was not moving that puck at all. Now Logan Shivers fighting for it in the neutral zone. Garrity knocked into the boards by Noah Plum. Caitlin Norton now across to Boytz. It's in his skates. He pokes it to the neutral zone. Cooley's there. Cooley back into the Houston end. Noah Plum stops it there off the boards, and we're going to have a offsides call here on Service. I don't know, 11 minutes left. You want to take play-by-play for the rest of the game?
No, I'll leave that up to you.
Are you sure? I mean, now I have color experience after Glen Allen. I could totally do this.
Hey, I hope that there's some grandmas and grandpas and relatives tuning in from out of state or somewhere where you can't be here today. It's fun to do this JV game, and hopefully there's some people who are getting to listen to their kids play.
Service knocks it back to the Houston end. Porter Jones picks it up there. Can't clear. Sarber pokes it back the other way. Nate Hutchinson now goes in there. Knocks the puck off of Sarber's stick. Goes to Rhea Stiers. Stiers pokes it out to the neutral zone. 3-on-2 here for the Hawks. Send Cooley's skates. Sends it back the other way to Garrity. Garrity can't get a handle on it. Pokes it back to his D, then picks it up himself on the blue line with some speed. Mack pokes it away, and here comes Joe Mack for the Hawks. 2 defensemen in front of him. Across the blue line. Fires one, and Willingham holds on to it for the save. 10:30 left in the third.
That's a good shot there by Joe Mack. Almost tied him up a little bit. It'd be nice to see the Hawks get one in, get a little momentum, get a little reward for all their hard work out here.
Cody Dreyer taking the face-off here. He's got Joe Mack and Rhea Stiers on the wings. Then he wins it back to Mack. Service steals it. Sarber up to Guire. Guire coming in on Josh Smolden. Caitlin Norton in the back check. She gets beat. Guire comes in, and he just beats Smolden. Smolden kind of sprawled out there on the breakaway. That one sneaks under him, and Service goes up by 6. I think Houston doing a little bit better job here in the third, keeping it out of their own zone. Smolden with a little less action, but that last breakaway, the most recent of a couple late breakaways here in the third period, and Smolden isn't able to get a handle on it this time. Service poked it through, Oliver Glick into the zone, fires one, Smolden gloves it, and a stoppage.
Assisted by number 46, James Sarber.
9:44 left in the third now, and it's actually going to be running clock. Looks like we're getting things sped up for the varsity game following.
Yeah,
and make sure that you stay tuned in for that. It's going to be the varsity game versus Houston and Service starting at about 7. We'll have our normal pregame show and all of that coming up after this broadcast ends. So as soon as it's done, give us a couple minutes, then go back to the videos on the YouTube page. We'll have the varsity game up and running. Houston sends it down the ice. It's going to make it all the way and across the goal line. Another stoppage as more time trickles off the clock.
Yeah, we did get a late start today. It took Service a while to get out of Anchorage. The roads were pretty bad. So.
Yeah, roads aren't great right now. Noah Plum taking the face-off here. He's got Norton and Hutchinson on defense, and Jones and Kinley Scott on the wings. Garrity for Service pokes it back to Glick. Knocked away by Plum. Up to the point. Centering attempt stopped by Norton. Then recollected by McHenry and poked back away. Kinley Scott into the neutral zone. Pokes it through. Bridges will pick it up for Service on his own blue line. Holds it, waits, and now tries to pass to the middle. Kinley Scott pokes it away. Back down into the corner. Kinley Scott against Bridges. Bridges circles back around. And knocked away by Austin Jones. Jones in the corner to Scott right in the middle. She fires, and it just misses the net. What a chance. Centering attempt now poked away by Service. Here they come back the other way on a 3-on-2. Glick up to Garrity. Garrity into the Houston end. Here comes Hutchinson to try to poke it away. Garrity wheels it around behind the net. Plum now coming in to help, and he knocks Garrity into the boards. Garrity taking some time to get up now. It's in the skates. And Kinley Scott coming in to help out as well. Poked up to Garrity. Garrity carries it to the middle. Spins around and gets it poked off his stick. Kinley Scott going in on the forecheck against Sarber. Sarber up to Bridges. Bridges back to Sarber. Sarber in his own zone now as Cody Dreyer goes in. Holds it there, passes up the boards to Austin Jones, who intercepts. Loses it to Bridges. Austin Jones again pokes it away, but now Garrity will pick it up. Garrity up to McHenry. McHenry into the Houston zone. Cody Dreyer stops it with a skate, pokes it into the neutral zone. Geyer back to Bridges. Bridges down into the Houston end. Connor Boytz goes in on Geyer. Tries to poke it away to Cooley. Cooley fires one off of Logan Shivers. Right to the center. Garrity right in front. And Smolden just swipes it away with the glove. Up to Bridges on the point. A shot. And Smolden gets a piece of that one. It flips into the netting. We'll have another stoppage with 7 minutes left. That was a dangerous play in front of the net. Garrity kind of steps to the middle, slips through the Houston D and is on the backhand. And Smolden kind of sweeps his glove out in front of the net, somehow gets a piece of it. Cody Dreyer taking the face-off, wins it back to Nate Hutchinson. Then intercepted by Sarber. Sarber, one off the crossbar. Close shot. Logan Shivers fighting against Cooley on the point. He knocks him into the boards. It goes over to Boytz on the far side. Boytz moving up the ice. Gets it poked away by Sarber. Porter Jones now sends it up the ice. McHenry's there to stop it. Back into the Houston end. Hutchinson to the near side now. 6:24 left in the game. Up to Logan Shivers. Shivers to Cody Dreyer. Dreyer to the middle. Knocked away. Geyer now pokes it to the middle. Connor Boytz intercepts. Boytz pokes it away. Then Cooley picks it up at the red line. Cooley steps to the near side, and he's just off. You make a move at the blue line, that's what's going to happen. We saw it last night when Houston did it a couple times against Palmer. See it again today.
Yeah, I really wanted to comment on that opportunity that Kinley Scott had I think that was Kinley Scott in front of the net. That all happened because of her tenacious forechecking. She went in, forechecked, kept the puck in the zone, and they got an opportunity out of it. And it was about 3 inches too wide, just past
just
the post.
barely. Noah Plum takes the face-off, goes back into the Houston end. Porter Jones is there. Weird deflection off the board. Service ends up with it behind the net. On the near side, centering attempt goes to Rhea Stiers. Stiers tries to poke it through. Glick stops it. Plum knocks him off the puck. Into the neutral zone, Sarber. Passes up the ice. Plum pokes it away to Glick. Now back to Plum. Plum with Stiers coming in. Loses it at the red line. Glick has it now at the red, and he regroups for Service as he passes back to the D. Service up the ice. Pass to Garrity. Garrity up to Sarber. Sarber tries to send it back, and Porter Jones gets a piece of it. Now Noah Plum pokes it away. Plum steps up the ice with some speed, carrying it. He's got Stiers moving up with him. Steps to the middle, through the D, gets a shot that's deflected wide. Centering attempt into skates to Sarber. Back to Plum. Deflects up. Plum still fighting for it in the corner. Pokes it up to Mack. Mack stops it with a skate. Fires one. Deflection goes just past Rhea Stiers. Cooley gets it poked away by Stiers as he's fighting for it on the boards. Now Sarber assists and gets it back behind Service's net. 4:30 left it here in the third period. Sarber up the ice. Dreyer comes in and knocks him off the puck at great physical expense. Service back into the Houston end. It's Glick with the puck. He's knocked off by Porter Jones. A good back check there, and now Jones sends it up the boards. Austin Jones centers to Joe Mack. Here comes Mack up the ice. Pass Cooley. He skates into the Service end. Cooley beats him to the puck, but it's left for Austin Jones. A centering attempt goes to Service. There's no Houston skater there. Caitlin Norton gets tripped up by the red line. Garrity coming in. He's got Guyer backdoor right into the slot. Guyer fires, and Smolden somehow stops, or no, it goes in. Who knows it? That was a weird play in front.
Was it a save? I think it was a save. It was a save. Yeah, I don't know. It got hung up in his leg pad or something. But
yeah, it looks like Smolden has the save somehow on that.
He did a great job of moving over on that one-timer and made the save.
Cody Dreyer pokes it through. Cooley knocks it back in for Service. Over the stick of Nate Hutchinson. Into the corner. Cody Dreyer picks it up for the Hawks around. And up to Kinley Scott. Scott off the boards. Now she goes on the forecheck. Cooley's going to beat her and Austin Jones to the puck, however. And now he wheels it around for Service. Just 3 minutes left here in the third. Cody Dreyer comes in. Knocks the puck off the stick of Cooley. Still fighting for it. Cooley eventually collects and then poked away again by Dreyer. Bridges now in his own corner. He's moving up the ice for Service. He's going to get it to the neutral zone. Kinley Scott pokes it off his stick. Back to Kinley Scott now. Centering attempt. Catches Dreyer on a change, and Service picks it back up. Service across the ice. Bridges on the red. Fires one, and Smolden knocks it aside. Nate Hutchinson gets it caught up right in front, and Smolden has to knock another one away. Hutchinson, puck on the stick up to Logan Shivers. Can't get a handle on it. McHenry with it. McHenry to the middle, and he's knocked to the ground by Noah Plum. McHenry is torn to pieces by Noah Plum in the high slot. We have another stoppage off of the icing.
Yeah, and that was a little hairy there for Smolden. He made the initial save on a really hard shot, and the rebound came out in front of him. He was looking for his defenseman to kind of pick it up, and it got tangled up in the defenseman's skates, and he had to make another save.
Noah Plum will take the face-off here with just 2 minutes left in the period. Plum pokes it through. It goes up to Sarber on the point. Back down to Guyer. Now Hutchinson knocks it to Boytz. Boytz loses to Sarber, then intercepted by Plum. Plum pokes a pass, and now here comes Plum on a 1-on-0. He's got Bridges to beat here. Bridges on the back check. Plum steps in, he shoots, and he scores! Noah Plum makes sure the Hawks don't stay off of that board. He puts up a goal with 1:45 left. And even though it's a JV goal, it's Plum's first of the season. May not go up on his official stats, but he does a great job coming in. He wins the battle, he pokes it through. Great awareness, comes up, he scores a goal, and Houston will not go into this one shutout.
Yeah, great effort by Plum. It's good to see them get on the scoreboard.
We got a Houston goal, 145 remaining in the third period, scored by number 50, Noah Plum.
Dreyer now shoots one over the net as the Hawks have control in the Service zone. Now Joe Mack goes in, and picked up by Sarber. Thrown out to Caitlin Norton. She keeps it in. Hawks playing with a bit of spark now that they've got one up there. Sarber carries it out for the Cougars, and he passes up to Garrity. Garrity up the red to Guyer. And Nate Hutchinson pokes it away. Garrity back in. Down into the zone. Knocked into the boards by Hutchinson. Maintains possession. Hutchinson now pokes it away, however, and sends it up to the point. Sarber can't keep it in. He's got it in the neutral zone across to Bridges. Bridges fires one, and Smolden knocks it out of the air. Hutchinson with the puck. Sends it up to Rhea Stiers in the neutral zone. She's trying to poke it away from Sarber. Gets half of it, but Bridges still recollects. Then she knocks it out of the air, and Cody Dryard almost steps through. Bridges now across the blue line into the Houston zone in the slot. A shot and a glove save by Smolden. 18 seconds left here in the game as the clock keeps ticking down.
Well, looks like we might get one more face-off here as we have a running clock.
9 seconds left. Service takes their positions. 5 seconds left. Garrity has to get his stick on the ice. Face-off to the side, and that's going to do it for the game. Houston JV takes the loss today. Score 6-1, but overall pretty good game. I think a lot of fun. Glad to see those guys get some ice time. They even managed to get a goal there late. We'll have our final stats for this, and we'll wrap things quickly up because coming up next is the varsity game. If you're watching this, make sure just exit out of it when it's done. Give us a few minutes, go back to videos. You'll see we'll come back live with the varsity game between Houston and Service. Greg, can I get stats? Really quick, before they slide? I promise I'll be fast. Final stats for the game. They don't have shots on here yet. The final, I really wanted to look at shots.
Yeah, look at shots.
No penalties. The final score is 6-1. Service with about probably another 20 on Smolden. He only lets up 1 in that third period.
I can talk about some things while you get shots.
Yeah, let me do that really quick.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you the overall impression here. You know, when you're watching JV players, what you're looking at is you're looking at the future of a club, and there's a lot of really bright spots in terms of the future of this club. You know, first of all, Houston has a lot to look forward to. Some of these young girls, freshman girls, Austin Jones, Kinley Scott, Kaylin Norton, they are incredible skaters. They're very tenacious, play with a lot of energy. They are not nervous at all when it comes to playing against the boys. And in fact, they are more than willing to try to knock someone down twice their size. So that's definitely a bright spot for the future of this club. You know, another bright spot is Josh Smolden, and you know, I think he probably had to make about 60 shots today. He made a lot.
Are you biased in any
really
way to talking up Smolden?
Well, you know, I am his dad, but you know, he stayed positive. He gave up a couple of early goals that probably he wishes he had back, but overall he made a lot of great saves, a lot of spectacular saves, really. So there, you know, there's a lot to look forward to with this club. So.
Yeah, so Smolden comes out, Service puts up another 15 shots, Houston puts up 4, Smolden comes out with about a 90% save percentage. For Service, I didn't actually calculate that one. Not a bad game from the goaltending standpoint, I don't think. I think Smolden does, you know, a fairly decent job when you've got 59 shots on you, you know.
Probably
6
like
goals
to see
isn't worse.
maybe
a few more of those.
A few more saves, maybe.
Yeah, especially
three
those
or four
tricklers.
goals when you have 60 some shots on you, but overall a good performance.
Yeah. So 3 stars for the game. We're actually going to skip it so that we can wrap things up here for the JV game. We're going to be right back with the varsity. Make sure you tune in for that. We'll have more of a formal pregame or more of a formal broadcast. So we hope to see you in just a couple minutes. For the JV game, I'm Isaac Smolden, and Todd Smolden for all the stats guys. Hope you had a fun time watching a little bit more of an informal broadcast, and we hope to see you shortly for the varsity.